I have 450 seconds to stop your overthinking. Let's begin. What exactly is overthinking? And I don't mean the kind where you kind of have a lot of thoughts in the day. No. What I mean is toxic thinking. What I mean is thinking that twists the fabric of reality so much that you're so far away from the truth and you're living a lie. I was going out with a group of friends and we were talking, laughing, having a good time, right? And I was sitting next to a girl that I'm very interested in, okay? And this girl means a lot to me. Now, while I was talking, okay, I said something and it was a bit too loud. And when I did that, the girl she did this. Yeah, and she looked away a bit. Now, at that moment, I was like, oh my God. She thinks I'm obnoxious. Well, I was too loud. She looks at me different now. And I started to replay that moment over and over and over again. And after replaying it for so many times, I kind of said, no, you know what? Just leave it, man. Okay? And while I was going about with my day, I remembered something. I was living a complete lie. Why? The girl, at the end of the outing, she said, you know, I have some allergies in my eye sometimes. And it's itching a lot. And she started doing this. And her eye was a bit red as well. So I realized when I was very loud, she wasn't annoyed by me, or I thought that I was being very loud. She just had eye allergies. Do you see how much self-deception I was in? It's crazy. I was living a life that was so much far away from the truth. And it's very sad that we all do this. And what overthinking does to you is you basically have a gap, okay, in your thinking of an event, of an interpretation. There is a gap in reality. You don't have access to that information, okay? I did not have access to the feelings, to the intention of the girl. Therefore, what I did was I filled it up. What did I fill it up with? I filled it up with my own insecurities. I filled it up with my own assumptions, my false assumptions. I tried to fill this gap up, and that is overthinking, okay? You're trying to bridge, okay, because you have a gap, remember, you're trying to bridge that gap rationally. Oh, I must be very loud, therefore when I was very loud, she put her hand on her ear and she's annoyed by me. It's rational as well when you think of it. Oh, it makes sense. You were very loud, therefore this happened, this happened. It's A, B, C, D. It's very coherent. Now, the problem is we build these bridges and sometimes they sound so convincing, but we're just living a lie, okay? We're just living something that is far away from reality. And we kind of live in this dimension where we're consistently doing this over and over again across all aspects of our life, yeah? And what this leads to is it leads to us perceiving life as so much different from what it really is. And you, for example, you have an interpretation of what someone meant by something rather than ask them what they meant, and you live that lie, and you base that on their personality, and your approach to them changes. And because your approach changes, their approach to you changes. Just because you misinterpreted what someone said, everything else is impacted. So what is overthinking? Overthinking is when you have a gap, okay? And you inject it with fear, with assumptions, and with your insecurities. Thank you for that, but how can I now fix this problem? How can I fix overthinking? Okay, the first step I want to talk about is detach and surrender, okay? Surrender to the flow of things. Be in peace with it. If something happened, don't overthink it. It happened. Move on, okay? Really, move on. Let's assume that the interpretation that I had of the girl that I was interested in, let's assume that she was actually annoyed by me, okay? It's fine. I had 3 hours with her before that incident, so it's fine. It's not like that one event that happened would be like she will say, oh no, now, no, what's this guy, what is it? No, that's fine. Sometimes these things happen. So I want you to say, even if my thinking is correct, why is that such a bad thing? And what's the point of reliving moments over and over again? They already happened, okay? It's fine. Move on. Learn. Adapt. Change your approach next time, maybe. and maybe it's all in your head. So don't rewrite this whole situation with your insecurities. What I also mean is you don't need to know what will happen. The only thing that you should know is whatever happens, I will be okay. So ask yourself, will my thinking change anything? If it does, if it will, please do. Please be my guest. Overthink all you like. But 95% of the time, it doesn't do anything. And you're wasting your energy on it, okay? That's the first step that you can do, is detach and surrender. The second step is recognize that there is a lack of stimuli, okay? Overthinking, like I said, it thrives in vacuum. When there's a gap and we fill it with our fear-based assumptions. You have a big meeting coming up, right? And you're playing all the possible different scenarios that could happen. You are reacting to stimuli that did not happen, okay? You did not mess up. When you mess up, fine, you can think about it, at least. At least you have a case. You did not mess up. You're still here. But my point is, nothing has happened yet, okay? There is no real data in front of you. And so your mind starts to invent these scenarios. And so most of what we assume isn't even real. Most of it, 70, 80% of it, isn't even real. It's in our heads, okay? And so when you overthink, I want you to stop yourself and ask, what do I actually know for sure? That's number one. And number two, what am I adding that might not be true, okay? And based on that, you can start to see, oh, I'm adding a lot of details here. I'm filling a lot of gaps, okay? And this is where I say, leave it. If you find yourself doing that, going into a spiral of like, oh, what if this happened, this, just stop, okay? Pause and say, look, I'm going to untrain this habit of overthinking and stop doing this. And at the end of the day, peace isn't about having everything figured out. Peace is about when things don't work out, it's all right. I'll conclude my video here. Thank you very much for watching. Hit the like button to support me and my journey on YouTube. And as always, Assalamu alaikum